Yeah, so I'm Holly Young. I am the founder of Whole Vibe, which is a new wellness community I'm forming. It's an online community. My dream is to be able to reach people around the world, help them live healthier, happier lives. Um, for some reason, that's been my mantra this year is flow. Just not forcing anything, just releasing anything that doesn't serve me, whether it's, habits, relationships that aren't serving me, or foods, just anything that isn't in my, my best, helping me live my best life or get to my goals. Just letting it go. And as I have let go of things that don't serve me, so much abundance is flowing in. So many opportunities that are just aligned with who I am. And we look at this partnership between us. Lately, I've been really big into metaphysics and like the law of attraction and life design, human design. And man, I can really tell you that I have manifested some of my biggest dreams over the last few years. Not in a woo sort of way, like I think it and poof, it happens, but I have just decided that there's nothing that I can't have in life. And whether it's, from when I said I want to learn how to swim, it's been a bucket list thing for me. I learned how to swim. Okay, I want to be able to scuba dive with my husband. I went and learned how to scuba dive. There's just been countless things in my life that I've wanted to check off, and I'm just going through and checking them off one by one. And it's really been a result of me attracting more of what I want, letting go what I don't want. And if I could talk to myself 10 years ago and maybe give myself some advice, we carry a lot. We carry a lot, right? With bad habits, vices, unhealthy relationships, people that we associate with that we don't even necessarily know are holding us back, right? Limiting beliefs that we place on ourselves. Oh, they're doing it. I couldn't do it. I wish I could do it. They're doing it. I don't have the resources. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the know-how. Oh, I can't do that. Who am I to do that, right? So, I told you 10 years ago, I wanted to host retreats, but at that time I thought, I don't have what it takes to teach people how to be healthy. I'm not the healthiest. I need to be a personal trainer. So I went out and I got certified to be a personal trainer. Well, I ended up working in a gym. That was not what I intended to do. But I thought, like, that's who I need to be so I could get here. And then finally one day I just realized I have all the knowledge, and if I don't, I know how to partner up with people who have it. So I can pull these resources and present them to other people who need them. And I feel like that's what I'm doing now. We've got amazing partnerships going on.
That's amazing. So it sounds like you really had to help yourself get to the point where you are now. So can you tell me a little bit about your journey of how you went from Holly of 10 years ago, who was like kind of healthy but not as healthy as she is now, to like what it took for you to change your mindset and be where you are now, not just for body health but just mental health, spiritual health. Like what did you have to do to get to where you are now?
Woo, so many things, so many things. But probably the biggest catalyst for me was my son. I mean, once I had Sonny, I knew I wanted him to be the healthiest. I wanted him to have every opportunity. I want him to see the world. So he has definitely been my catalyst. After I had Sonny, I went back to school and got my degree in business and entrepreneurship. That was tough in and of itself, like just raising Sonny while I was in school for 3 years, getting that degree. And that was a lot. That was a lot.
And what has that journey been like for you as a mother of one, of Sonny? How has that journey been for you to see yourself in him and see him in you?
Wow. Kids have a way of giving you what you need, or pulling the growth out of you that you need. I had to learn patience. I had to learn time management. I had to learn rituals and routines that, create a healthy home. If you wake up every morning, like when I first was a mom, like I would wake up and I just was like flying by the seat of my pants every day, just like the day would just get away from me. But now we have these beautiful routines in our home. I wake up, I tend to try to wake up before him, have my tea, I ease into my day, I work out in the mornings, I meditate. These are things that just like pouring into myself, so that way I can give him the attention that he needs. But I first have to do what feels good for me. So whether it's going on a bike ride or doing a quick workout, just taking that time for myself, it has really made me a better, more patient mom.
So like expanding on that, because it sounds like it's very aligned with like the law of attraction.
We tend to attract what we think about, and our perception is our reality. So in a basic form, if I feel like everything is working against me and I'm struggling and I just can't get what I want out of life, I'm generally going to attract and notice frustration, setbacks. Things are going to always feel like they're stopping me from the life that I want. But if you start to change your mindset and think, this is an opportunity. For instance, when I was in college, one of our professors made us enter this business pitch competition as part of our homework. Of course, my idea ends up making it as a finalist, so I had to go up on stage. Well, at that same time, Sonny had broken his leg and he was in a cast for the whole bottom. He had broke his femur, so he had a body cast on. It was horrible. It was so hard because I was taking care of him with a full body cast on. He couldn't walk or anything. He was a baby, so I was having to put 2 diapers at a time on him when this happened, right? So I was so overwhelmed. And I remember thinking, like, how could this professor do this to me? How could she do this to me at a time in my life? Of course, she didn't know anything that was going on, but I was like, how could she do this to me at a time where I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so busy? Well, long story short, I have a beautiful relationship with that professor to this day. I ended up winning money from that competition, and I started to shift my mindset. And I realized afterwards that if she hadn't put me through that challenge, I would have forever said, oh, I can't do a business pitch competition because I can't go on stage. But I had to. I didn't have a choice. I needed this for this grade, so I had to do it. And after I started realizing that when we really want something and we've told somebody, hey, I really want something, the tests come out. How bad do you want it? How bad do you really want this thing? So, even when this whole journey, like, I want to help people to better health. It has not been easy. There's been a lot of obstacles, but now I just see them as, the universe, like, just testing me. Like, how bad do you want this? It's really, nothing that's really worth it just falls in our lap, right? It usually takes a lot of work. Wow. When I first started my fitness journey, I remember walking into a yoga studio because I really wanted to try yoga, right? And I was overweight. I was a new mom, had lots of weight left, and I didn't have like what I thought was like the yoga image. What I saw, when I walked into this room is very thin, blonde ladies with these beautiful yoga outfits on, and I just kind of like looked frumpy, and I didn't really feel that great about myself, and I've just felt so uncomfortable. But I really lucked up because the teacher was this wonderful woman of color, and she was amazing. We're still great friends to this day, and I just fell in love with her style of teaching and how welcoming she was, not just to me, but to everybody in the room. And I kept going back. And I probably wouldn't have gone back if that representation wasn't there. I know I wouldn't have gone back because I wasn't in love with yoga when I went. It was very uncomfortable doing all the poses because, I still had, I was new to it and I just didn't feel comfortable in my body. So because she was there, I kept going to that. I ended up having an amazing spin instructor who was a Black man from Brooklyn, who lives in Tampa. And we've become great friends. And I started to see people of color teaching and realize, like, wow, maybe I do fit in this space. Because in my head, I didn't think some of the things I was doing were for Black people. I didn't think of yoga or spin classes. I was the only Black person in both of those classes for years. Yeah.
And how did that feel like for you?
It was awkward. It was very awkward. And if it weren't for those connections with those teachers, I probably wouldn't have stayed with it as long as I have.
Question. So just talking about, I know like in your yoga class, it was your experience. What about for the people who may not be in that space at all, the importance of seeing someone who looks like them? Even when we talk about Black, sometimes for different people, my skin tone might come, but you're Black or you have other ethnicities in you, but you are a part of the Black community. Can you talk about the importance of seeing, just in general, a Black person, but someone who looks like you, someone who may have a younger person? Why is that important to see people or adults in that space when they're at that age like him?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Representation is just so important. There are so many things that I wanted to do as a kid that because I didn't see the representation, I didn't do. My very first dream was to be a marine biologist, but I couldn't even swim. And most of the people that I knew, oh, Black women don't swim. We don't swim because we can't get our hair wet, So that right there held me back for so many years. So, it's just been really important to me that I show my son, you can do anything. You belong in any space. We go camping, kayaking. A lot of our friends think, wow, that's really crazy. You guys do all this stuff. We go biking. But a big part of it is we want to show Sonny that you can do anything. You belong anywhere, anything you think of, you belong there. Even if you're the only person of color in the room, go for it,
Any last advice or anything you want to let people know?
I do have one more question.
Sure.
So can you tell us a little bit about your experience with your husband? Because you and your husband are raising Sonny together, and you both are actively choosing to live a healthy lifestyle to be role models to your son. So what is that like, being with a partner who you both created a lifestyle together that's ultimately helping your son live a better life?
I don't know how this will play out on camera, but I want to show you guys this. Sean was sick recently, and I was out of town. I came back and I found this checklist that Sonny made. I'll just read it to you. The checklist, I took a picture of it. It says at the top, Sonny made this. Healthy, on the back it says, healthy, Dad, Sonny. On the other side it says healthy foods, medicine, soup, good, berries, juice, fruits, resting, staying healthy. It's a checklist. So he's got checks by what they had done so far. He was helping take care of his dad. And these are the ways that he knows how to be healthy. And that's really powerful for me because, wow. Last summer when Sean had COVID, there were 2 other men his age that had kids or married that both passed away from COVID. Sean was sick with COVID for 8 months. excuse me, for 8 weeks. And I was able to keep him healthy and out of the hospital and from going on the ventilator because of what I know about what could help him. We used certain herbs to help his lungs. We used juicing, no processed foods whatsoever, no sugar whatsoever. Put him on coconut water, herbs, juicing, and Sean made a full recovery. So these tools, these wellness tools that I have, serve my whole family, and I feel like they allow me to serve friends of mine. The friends of mine that have different health issues, they tend to lean on me. Holly, I have this. Do you have anything that could help me? So I love being that healthy resource for people. So, hi, my name is Holly Young, and I'm the founder of Whole Vibe.